People who imprisoned 4 people with learning difficulties in a small and squalid basement room. The captors allegedly collected their victims' social security checks. From Washington, Steve Kingston reports.
A grim-faced detective opens the door to a tiny, terrifying world. In this cramped underground space, vulnerable adults were kept prisoner, without food, without light, and surrounded by their own waste. They barely had room to stand up. One of the men was chained to a boiler. They'd been locked up with dogs and just a single bottle of drink. And here are 3 of the alleged victims, giving local television a graphic account of their ordeal after being freed. They're painfully thin, and it's not just the physical scars that are shocking. They all have severe learning difficulties, making them highly susceptible to abuse.
Hit me with a bat in my head, and all this was all bleeding and everything. And she did this to me, so Linda Weston, and with a bat.
I escaped one time to one of the houses that we used to live in of hers, and I didn't get away, so they got me.
51-year-old Linda Weston is charged with kidnap and false imprisonment. She has a prior murder conviction for the death of a man who starved after being locked in a cupboard. It's now alleged that she and 2 co-defendants preyed on the vulnerable to pocket their social security checks.
When you look at the conditions under which they were kept, I mean, it's just something out of a dungeon, actually. And to know that you would take advantage of a fellow human being like this just simply makes you sick.
The police had been alerted by the suspect's landlord. Inside the property, they found dozens of identification documents. The FBI is now looking at Linda Weston's previous homes in Texas and Florida to see whether others may have suffered the same awful experience. Steve Kingston, BBC News.